All right, so we're working here on the Mule again, and I mentioned that the temperature light came on, and of course it sprayed coolant out the front cover gasket. And one thing it did not do was the fan did not come on. So we're gonna troubleshoot. I'm still waiting for the front cover gasket to come in. So we've not taken the front cover off yet. But while we're waiting for that gasket to come in, we will see if we can get the fan to work. And so we've got two sensors here on the head. This one, I'm gonna guess, is probably the temperature light, because it's just one wire going to it. And if we look, I think on the radiator, just making sure there's nothing else on the engine, I think there's a switch on the radiator that is going to be for the fan. And trying to get down in there to see it. I guess we'll get a light. Hang on. Trying to get in here to see where it is not easy. I don't really know how best to work on the radiator. Maybe pull those screws out. All right, got the wheel off. Got it jacked up, and another little jack under it, kind of as a backup. And we're gonna see if we can get these out. I might need to go get an impact driver, but we're gonna see. You know what? Let me grab another bit, and we will try it with. This is not actually what I meant when I said impact driver. That bit fits really nice. I was actually talking about one of the ones you hammer on, but this might do these. This bit fits real nice in here. Awesome. Where did that one fall to? When I see one fall, I always try to find it right then and put it somewhere safe. All right, so we've got those three that hold that in. What else? We got a bolt right here. Doesn't look like anything up there. Just those three and a bolt. Oh, there's one right here. That one's gonna be fun to get into. I don't know if I can get this in here. Oh, maybe I can. Oh no, that's not a good sign. Let's try to get our screwdriver in there first. All right, screwdriver's on it. All right, we are gonna be very careful here. Let's see if we can get this on there straight. That is not good. Is that the only other one holding it? It is. Sometimes if you turn the cover, you can get it to break loose. Like, it'll stick to the cover if you can turn the cover or whatever you're working on. If it's the last one, you can turn the whole thing that way. It'll break the screw loose, but I don't think that's going to happen. The problem is I can't get on it perfectly straight. So let me see about grabbing a screwdriver. I think I need something to sit on. Every time it rains, it's got a concrete floor, but they added the floor later, and the floor is low, and it every time it rains, the floor is lower than the outside ground, and so muddy water runs in this barn every time we get a good rain, and it just makes this floor is always muddy. I mean, you can clean it, but it's always got mud on it. So this makes for a fun time. Let's see. So the floor is muddy. I can't sit on the floor. It's been raining today. So the screw is right here. I don't know. Turn that a little bit. That gives us more room. Let's see. What is in the way? It's not coming out. Maybe work on it a little bit. We end up drilling it out. So it's a week later, and we are back on the Mule. Don't know if this will be a new part for y'all or part of the same video, but I need to get in here. I thought originally that these wires went to the fan, but I don't think they do. I think they maybe are for something that's not equipped on this one, and they were just supposed to be dangling here. But I need to get y'all in here to see if y'all can help me see what those wires over there look like, because I cannot see what they look like. And then we are going to try probably jumpering across these. This is the switch. So we'll try jumpering these two wires and see if the fan works. That's the blue wire, so I'm sure that's probably supposed to be positive. So let me get those off and we'll test this thing out. So I got one of the wires off. As you can see, it's working. The connector is very corroded. So I'm wondering if we just need to clean that up. Maybe it's a bad connection there. And then I think what I'll do is I'll leave this panel off and we will run this thing and see if we can get that thing to come on. Almost need a temperature gauge on it. I might run it with the radiator cap off and put where I can keep checking temperature, or we could check with a maybe an infrared thermometer right there. But let's clean it up first, and then we'll see how it does. And if it still doesn't work, we'll replace the switch. So use some sandpaper and clean that up. Tempted to take it out and test it, but I'm afraid of breaking it, trying to get it out, or harming the radiator. So I'd rather not take it out unless I have to. So So I think we'll leave it alone. I'm going to clean up some of this stuff under here, and like that spot right there, and hit it with some Rust-Oleum, and definitely not going for looks here. We're just going for clean it up and make it not rust. So clean this up a little bit. All right, there. Just touched up the rusty bits just to keep from getting rustier, and that all gets, it's all behind a cover anyway, but just want to make sure it doesn't rust out or anything. Went ahead and took it off. I figured this thing, it's going to be easier to test this thing with it off in a controlled environment where I can put some heat to this thing, put it probably in a pot of water, just stick it in like that with some terminals connected to it, maybe to my voltmeter, and it should open, or it should close contacts before the water starts boiling, I would think. So I think we're going to do that, and I figured I'd just put a wrench on it and see if it would come out easy, and it did. We'll probably have to find an O-ring to replace this one because it kind of got stuck, and you can see where it peeled away a little bit. But we're gonna test this switch, and we got boiling water, and nothing. Do that. That is a defective fan switch.